Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to this meeting. I want to introduce our two new employees, Bianca and Cassie. Everyone,
Hey.
How are you doing?
go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Casey Thomas.
David Connor.
Nancy Martinez.
And I'm Roman Martinez, your manager for the branch. First, I want to go over the agenda and explain what we're going to cover. Overtime approval. Adding two new employees, we need to make sure that we're staying below 40 hours, so we'll cover that. Account gain, we're going to think of some ideas that we can go over to gain accounts, see what we can do as far as advertising and retaining those current customers. Last thing we'll cover is the new bonus structure. So even if you're aware of how it works, I just want to cover it again so you're completely sure of how it works. Alright, so first we'll talk about overtime approval. We need to make sure that each week that we're staying right at 40. Before they let us go above 40, we need to make sure that we're staying below it. So what we're going to do to make sure that happens is each Monday we're going to plan a little timesheet for each day, you know, making sure it stays exactly at 40. So, with you, David, I think we talked about 5 every night, or is it 9 to 5 every day?
No,
9 to 6.
9 to 6.
9 to 6 every day.
One day I had a shorter hours because of me coming in to work a little earlier.
Are y'all fine with him staying there and you keeping the Wednesday off?
Yeah, that's fine.
So, and then you take off that extra 30 to get your kids, so
Right.
we'll keep that there. And if we need to knock off another hour, we'll find out either on a Friday,
Okay.
but one of the slow days, Tuesday or Thursday, we'll knock off that extra hour.
Okay.
But we need to plan that Monday, just have the entire week planned out. This is how many hours I'm gonna have each day for the week,
Right.
So
No
we get-
surprises.
right at 40. If for some reason we need the extra 40 hours, I wanna give you this handout. We have to use this. 1, 2, 4. This overtime approval form must be submitted to Supervisor Jesse Rico by Wednesday, each Wednesday afternoon. So if there's any reason that we go over an hour or 2 hours, whatever it is, we have to get it approved by Wednesday.
Or if you know you're going to be over Thursday or Friday, you still have to get it approved by Wednesday.
Exactly,
Okay.
by Wednesday.
This is the same form we've used before.
Yep,
isn't it?
we use
Okay.
this. What this does is lets him know before Friday's here, this is what we're gonna be over, and then he'll sign off, approve it, send it back to me, say it's okay. Especially with me being out next month, you guys are gonna have to, more than likely you'll go over, because it's gonna be hard to send someone home with only 3 employees, so
Right.
if you're gonna do that, call me, let me know, and I'll let you know it's okay, but we have to send this off if we're gonna go over. Do you have any questions? No?
No, sir.
Alright, so what do we do if we need extra overtime?
Get-
Fax this in to
get-
Jesse.
Get approval from you, then fill out the form, fax it in
Fax it in to Jesse. What day?
Wednesday.
Wednesday afternoon. Okay. So that'll pretty much keep our overtime approval right where it needs to be. Just make sure we stay on top of these forms if we need the extra hours. Next, I want to talk about account gain. And feel free to give me ideas of what you think we can do extra to bring in those extra new customers. We have referral cards being given to every customer we have at the desk. You're doing really good at that. You always ask if you have a friend or a family member, please send them to me. If we approve them, we'll give you $25 for
Right.
sending the referral. But what I want to do, since you all have your own cards, start putting them in your purse or your wallet. At least carry 10. and while you're out in public, I mean, you run into somebody you know, or even if it's a stranger you're just talking to, give them a card, tell them what you do. I mean, ask them to send someone. Do you have any other ideas that we might use to generate new customers?
Word of mouth, I know, is one of the best. It always has been, probably always will be.
As far as like in the office, y'all do really well with that, just referring, you know.
Right, but
What can
not
we do?
everyone's gonna come to us.
Yeah,
so.
not everyone.
That's true.
We have a base that comes every month, but I want to talk to those that don't even know about us. Like, what can we do to get those
Yeah.
people
I think
aware of
this
us?
like business card table we're doing, like the community table, I think that would be good to go to different businesses and get their cards just as well as giving ours, so,
Go ahead and write that down.
okay.
So,
What about the radio advertisement that was there?
well, radio advertisement,
weeks ago.
anything as far as radio and newspaper, they're not going to go with. It's
I wondered about that
It's
because
such
it seemed like it was the wrong time of day for a lot of people to be listening to the radio. He did a good job, didn't you agree? Both of you?
Yeah. But I still think like you said, the koozies or the pens and little stuff that'll get out there like that.
extra items.
Yeah.
One thing I really like the koozie idea. Just handing out koozies. Even if we go to a business, have maybe 5 or 10 koozies with us, handing those out while you're talking to them.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an easy
Flyers,
way to
too.
like,
I know one of y'all talked about frisbees one time.
Yeah.
I don't know how far frisbees would go since you're not talking to kids.
right.
Yeah.
Um,
But
The
I mean,
koozies,
summers
the-
come in, you know, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
summer.
family vacations and stuff like that, so that could work.
So, you know, now that we don't do outside collections, we have all that free time during the afternoon. What I'm thinking about doing is, like for an hour or two, sending 2 each, you know, one to go out and actually visit a business, tell them what we do,
Yeah.
ask them for referrals. If they have anything they could give us, we could take that and help them out. Just go back and forth with
That'll work.
how we could help each other. Just like that guy from, what was it?
They came in
Buddies.
Friday.
Buddies
Oh,
Rentals.
yeah,
Yeah.
How he came in, talked to us
Yeah.
about what they do. I want to try something like that. Just go promote ourselves.
Yeah, he said he does that like once a month. He'll go like walk down that area, so.
We did
That
that a
would be
little bit
cool.
last year, if you remember.
We did, and we actually wrote down who we visited,
Yes.
what kind of result we got with it. But if we're going to do that, we need to make sure we stick to somebody that's going to help. Like a tire company, like people that change tires. You've got people that blow their tires all the time. If
All
they
the
go,
time.
they don't know where to go. They go to the tire shop. I can't afford $300. Hey, Roman down the street at World Finance, he can help you out. Go see him. That'll bring in business. But think of shops like that, like tire shops,
Mechanic.
mechanics, anything that would just spur the moment expenses that they could actually refer to us.
Right.
Some of them have programs where they could take installments, but then some of them don't, especially the smaller companies.
Yeah.
We could step in that situation.
Maybe like clinics too, where people go like they need money for
Medical.
medicine or something.
Right, yeah.
The only, yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know if
Jay's,
they would
I don't know.
have
It's just
anybody
like a worth
that
a shot. I don't know
More than
how.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
every idea is a good idea.
could, grocery stores, there's a lot of people go in there, but again, whether those checkers would have time to say, hey,
Maybe churches.
here's
Can
a
you
card.
think of
Come on,
anyone
see
right
one.
there on North First?
Pawn
Just
shops.
pawn
If
shops?
somebody's gonna lose their item that day, oh, well, I don't have it till next week, let's go here to,
Yeah,
you know,
pawn
borrow,
shop.
or,
What else do we have on North First? We have. I want to try.
isn't there a cake place there too?
What is it?
Yeah.
Right. What
Okay.
if somebody didn't have a down payment for their cake or something, you know?
Everywhere we go is gonna help.
Yeah.
And
That
we're
would be
talking
cool,
about
too.
it, and we're helping them. We'll ask them for a flyer or a card, and we can put it on that community table that we have.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So just let them know that we're gonna actually promote their stuff while they're promoting ours.
Right.
So we're helping each other. Another thing we talked about previously was getting involved in the community. Maybe
Oh, yeah.
trying to work with Habitat for Humanity. I could possibly try to get shirts made for World Finance, Abilene, Texas, and then we're all going out painting a house or, helping some way in the community.
Yeah.
But we need to look into that more, just find out what we can do. So
That'd be cool.
there's even, what's his name, Mark in San Angelo, he does every day he goes, for 30 minutes he goes to
Meals on Wheels.
Meals on Wheels.
Really?
He volunteers every day.
That was one that I was about to suggest. Maybe,
Yeah.
well, if that's the only other one that I
But
can
he
think
makes
of.
sure to wear his World Finance shirt,
Does
because
he?
most Meals on Wheels is all voluntary.
I
So
knew it
it's
was.
companies coming in, helping out, pass that food around. But, I mean, just show that we're not out to get people's money, we're not out to get you, we're out to help you. That's what we're about.
I think
I mean-
it would be cool, I know this is kind of a long shot, but magnets, like for vehicles. If we all four wanted to get like a magnet and, I
Just
don't know, maybe
put it
have
on
the
our
company
car.
name or something, and then ask me about my job or something like that.
Even with the phone number.
Yeah,
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah, write that
like
down.
on the back of your car.
That's a good idea. Even on the doors, like they just stick right to the doors. World Finance.
decals.
I have a few,
Even if it's just
a few
one,
on
I
my
don't-
refrigerator there.
Maybe like a big, I don't know how big that would be, but
Yeah, like a,
we could even
Right.
share it. If it's expensive, we could just put one on each car once a week.
I bet it wouldn't be expensive at all. You could probably order it online, just like t-shirts. You can design them online.
Yeah, write that down for sure. That's a good idea. But I really do want to find out something to do in the community.
Yeah.
That'd be really
I
fun.
think
And
the Habitat for Humanity, I think there's a lot of people that do that, so
Mhm.
I think it's easy to get in to do that.
A lot of high school and college kids are even involved in
Yeah,
that.
for the resumes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always put that down on your resume. Any more ideas about, as far as items that we can make? We have koozies. How about unbottled water?
Yeah, like
Little
labels.
company emblems that we could either take around ourselves or maybe someone could actually do it for us.
I know you don't see them much anymore. There used to be little foam holders that people put their cold cans in
That's
that have advertisement on them. You know what I'm talking about?
Koozies?
Beer can. That may be what you're.
Yeah,
talking
koozies.
about.
that's a
Is that what
It
you
just
call
slips
them, a
right into
koozie?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Or a shakuzi, like my son says.
Yes. Well, I've never heard them called that. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
idea was the same though, right?
I think that would. World Finance, everywhere you go, you're handing out a koozie. Somebody will use it.
Oh,
And-
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you can use that for Cokes and,
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Anything, drinks,
yeah,
any kind of drink.
yeah.
But most important, sell the referrals. Just every contact you have with customers, every time you talk to any stranger, you talk about what you do, sell that referral. Ask them to send someone, and we'll definitely pay them for sending us that customer as long as we get it approved, obviously.
I do already, some. I haven't carried my cards around with me and handed out cards, but
Start doing that for sure. You do real good in the office as far as handing those out. I always hear you, all three of you, selling the referrals. But I want to start
Yeah.
taking them with me. Jesse, or Mr. Cruz was in our last meeting. He asked, does anyone carry their cards on them? And not one person in that room had their cards with them. Not even Jesse. Jesse, he pulled his wallet out and he's looking through there and he's like, you know what, I don't have it.
I had a little card folder that I used to carry cards in all the time. That's what it was for. And
I got some in my purse.
Okay, last subject. So we've got some ideas there.
Yeah.
That will.
For sure.
Last subject, account gain. Sorry, we just covered account gain.
Again?
The new branch associate bonus structure. Is everyone clear on how that works?
I think so. I read it one day this past week, and I think
Well, I have-
remember basically what it said, so.
I have a handout here that tells you exactly how that will work in the future. Starting at the end of this month, this new bonus plan will go into effect. So pretty much the new structure scheduled for this year and on. BSRs will receive 15% of the total bonus earned by the managers.
Right.
So there's 3 categories. We've got profit. It's not wrote down there. I'll cover that now.
Okay.
Profit's gonna cover, you have to cover 10% to get the entire 15% bonus. So 3 categories, 5% with profit. So if you're making profit every month, standard profit, you're gonna get 5% of that 10. And then we have delinquency, which is gonna cover 2%. And then your last 3% of that 10 is going to be account gain. So every month, if you're above one account from where you were the previous month, you'll get 3% added into that 10% bonus. So
Previous month or the same
the
time, previous year?
no,
Previous month?
not previous year, previous month. So in April, if we closed out at 400 accounts, in May, we have to close at 401, and you'll get 3%, you'll cover the 3% there for account gain.
Okay.
And then delinquency, as long as we hit our 5.73, we'll get the 2% there. And then the last thing is profit. If we're profitable that month, we'll get 5%. So in total, 10%. So if we're talking about making 17,000 for the month after we've paid all our bills, we'd get 10% of that. And then, or actually, the manager gets a 10% bonus of that. And then
Very good.
branch associates will get 15% of what the manager received.
Question. Do you get those individually if you don't cover them all?
Yes.
Okay,
So
so if we
let's say
didn't-
we
if we
only
didn't
get-
do the profit and the delinquency, but we did the account gain, we
You
would
get the
get
3%.
a 3%. Okay.
Or if we only got profit, I'd only get 5% of that 17,000. And then,
It's like if you don't get anything, no one gets
Yes.
anything.
so
Yeah, I did read.
the more I get, the more
The more
you
we
get.
get.
So it helps us all.
Yeah.
The old structure had you getting 200 right as soon as you hit 5.73.
Which
they're-
seemed to be pretty easy for us.
Yeah,
so
real easy. But the problem with that was as soon as we got that, we're just like,
we're
everybody's just like,
comfortable.
we've got it.
Yeah.
You know,
Too.
now it's, can we make more if we collect some of that increase? The lower we get that, the higher our profit, we'll get more, so we won't stop with
At
that last
200.
week.
Right.
Yes, so we'll keep growing.
Definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
When I looked at February, when we had a high profit because of taxes, based on that one, you guys would have got a $560 bonus by hitting all 3 of these categories. So that's way better than just the even 200.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it'll benefit you, definitely. It'll,
Some months it certainly will, yeah.
some months, yeah, it'll be way higher than others.